Yo, everybody, it's your boy Joseph here,
And Carlos,
and this is the
the
passenger
passenger
seat.
seat.
All right, welcome back, riders, to another week in the passenger seat. And this week, we're going to be talking about our beloved wizard.
Harry Potter.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't know if you have the same feeling, but every time it was November, it was always that thing of Harry Potter would show on TV, and they
hmm
would always show it like in a row in November time. So I thought, since we're in November and Thanksgiving's coming up, I don't know why, but Harry Potter sort of coming to my mind.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, and just to for the fans out there, we're talking about the movies. We're not going to get into the books, even though there is a lot of similarities. We don't. We're just going to go with the movies on this one.
Yep. And we're going to do a quick recap of just all the movies in general. We're not going to do one by one because then we'd have to do 8 videos spread across 8 weeks, which is 2 months, which is a lot.
Yeah, I guess Harry Potter fans wouldn't mind, but
Yeah. All right.
shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother.
Your brother's a huge fan, I remember.
Yes, we're gonna talk about Harry Potter. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, Harry Potter was created by a female, English. Anyways, she's a British author named J.K. Rowling. First created Harry Potter, or Rowling, however you want to pronounce it.
Rowling. I think it's Rowling.
Okay, sure. So we'll just start off by telling the story. I guess we'll start with the beginning. Harry Potter is a boy wizard who has a lightning bolt scar on his head, and the purpose of the story is basically they call him the boy who lived because he survived the attack of a dark wizard, which is supposed to be the killing curse. He's the only known wizard, human, to have survived it. And the point of the story is that there is a prophecy that these dark wizard and Harry are supposed to battle, and only one of them can survive while the other one lives. Usually what the prophecy says.
For those of you who know, we're talking about the Dark Lord, the aforementioned, one of the most powerful wizards in the Harry Potter universe. And basically in the first film, we get introduced to the wizard. Well, I can't even say that right.
Wizarding world.
Wizarding world of Hogwarts. And we get introduced to our main character, the protagonist, Harry Potter, and sort of his, I guess his predestination
Adjusting.
to become a wizard.
Yeah. And along the way, he meets two characters who are extremely important throughout the whole entire movies, and that is Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger.
Yep. His two best friends throughout the film series. And so basically that first film is just him getting acclimated to, being a wizard. He wasn't too surprised to see or to find out that he's a wizard. I guess he always sort of knew.
That's true.
And then the first film was just him getting into Hogwarts, and us as viewers experiencing that for the first time.
Yes. Getting introduced to the idea that Voldemort exists and that he's after Harry. But at the beginning, obviously, he's trying to be alive again. Which plays a very important role in our second movie of Harry Potter, where Lord Voldemort is trying to come back to life by the means of what throughout the movies, Horcrux, which is disguised as a diary. I guess, how would you describe like a Horcrux? Like it's like a piece of his soul?
Yes, Horcruxes are basically. So just so people know what Horcruxes are, the main villain or antagonist of the Harry Potter series, the Dark Lord, Lord Voldemort, he who must not be named,
Just said all his names.
Right. He split his soul into 7 fragments, and put them into different things, basically so he could sort of be immortal, unless a person was to find all 7 of these Horcruxes and destroy them, he basically couldn't die. And yeah, and in the second movie, we see one of the it is the very first Horcrux that we get presented to, or I'm trying to remember if they cued any of the Horcruxes in the first movie. I'm not sure.
No, it was this. The diary was the first one, and basically he tries to open the chamber of secrets to what was it? Drain the blood out of not the blood, sorry, the soul out of Ginny Weasley
Mm-hmm.
to then come back to life and take try to beat Harry and take over the Wizarding World once again. But in the movie, he is foiled by Harry Potter and his friends, and he kills the Horcrux, which is in the second movie. Which moves on to the third film, which I think in the third film, it honestly really isn't about Voldemort.
Yeah, that's true. Third film was, man, is it me, or was that movie really forgettable?
It's The Prisoner of Azkaban. It's basically about Sirius Black.
Actually, it's not that forgettable. It was actually a really good one. I really like it. I just can't believe I forgot it.
I feel like the third film, the important part of this film is that it introduces Harry to his parents' past that he doesn't know about, and this introduces Harry's father's friends, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew.
Mm-hmm. And it also introduces us to the Order of the Phoenix.
It does that too. Yes, that is true. Mm-hmm. And moving on to the fourth movie, honestly, fourth movie is like one of my favorites because it's just so much fun.
Fire!
The Goblet of Fire. It's this kind of wizard tournament between schools where you can actually die, because that's what they want to do with their kids.
Wow, you just went straight to it. You could die.
Hey, they say, Dumbledore says in the beginning.
Yeah, so basically, up to this point, unless you read the books, people who straight up watched the movies didn't even consider the fact of there being other wizarding schools. And when we got introduced to that, I think that was one of the coolest parts for me for the Goblet of Fire.
It's a tri-wizard tournament, which three wizards with someone. It does, you find out in the movie puts Harry's name in the Goblet of Fire, and Harry has to participate in the tri-wizard tournament, which I guess no one really ends up winning, if you want to say it like that, because at the end of this film, the last part of the tournament, he meets up with Lord.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, the character dies in this movie. Yeah, it's a tough one because okay, here comes a spoiler. I really like Cedric.
Who, Edward Cullen?
Edward Cullen, yeah, no. I really liked his character.
That's how Cedric, he became a vampire.
Yeah, he died and reincarnated.
He said, "I want my own movie franchise."
He reincarnated into Twilight. That's funny.
But with that final moment is where Voldemort actually gets to come back to life, and we see him in a full body snake-looking, no nose having man.
Yeah. So I guess this is where the real struggle sort of begins now that Voldemort is back. And I guess that's what the last 3 movies sort of center on.
Yes, definitely. Which moves on to number 5.
Or last 3, last 4.
Well, yeah, but it's 7. But this moves on to the Order of the Phoenix, which plays on to whether or not the Wizarding World believes Harry is telling the truth that the Dark Lord is back, because they don't want to believe him.
I hated that movie just because what's-her-face was so annoying. Oh my god, what's her name? I can't remember.
Yeah, Umbridge.
Umbridge. Oh my god, I hated her guts.
Yeah, because the Ministry says they don't believe in Harry, but they want to keep a track on him. They send somebody over to watch over Hogwarts, and her name is Umbridge. I don't remember. And anyways, it's a professor, and she's pure evil, more evil than the minister. The minister basically expected because he had no idea. And she took over Hogwarts, got Dumbledore fired. A bunch of stuff happened in that movie, and she's so mean.
Yep. Again, hater guts.
And this makes Harry start a group with his friends called Dumbledore's Army to try to learn to fight back against the Dark Lord, and learns of the prophecy for the first time, actually, in this movie. In the Order of the Phoenix, when they visited the Ministry of Magic to try to retrieve the prophecy, the Death Eaters show up, which is Voldemort's followers, and they go into a battle with the Order of the Phoenix. Really awesome battle. But during this battle, Harry loses someone very important. And it was very heart-wrenching to see that in the movies.
Yep. Obviously, we're talking about Sirius Black, who was killed by Bellatrix Lestrange.
The movie gives you this awesome battle between Dumbledore and Voldemort. Really good battle. Obviously, Voldemort just sort of goes away, but before he goes and vanishes, the Ministry sees him, and everybody knows Voldemort is back. Which brings us to our sixth movie, which honestly brings everything together, because this is the movie where they talk about the Horcrux. This is the movie where Dumbledore tells him about the Horcrux, shows him Tom Riddle's past, which Tom Riddle's Voldemort. This is the second one that's destroyed, because in the beginning of the movie, you see Dumbledore's hand is messed up, but it's because he had a ring, which I think it was Salazar Slytherin's ring or something. I don't remember what it was, but he had a ring and he already destroyed it, so there was already 2 down when the movie started.
So that being said, the very important thing that happens in this movie, obviously another heart-wrenching, scene, is obviously the one where Dumbledore dies.
Yes, this is caused by Severus Snape, who was a professor at Hogwarts, potions master, actually. Very important character throughout the whole story. You would think he's like such a douchebag, but
yeah, I think this part was very crucial in cementing the wow factor of the plot twist towards the end.
That is true. I would agree.
This was a very, very fundamental part in making Snape like one of the worst characters, or one of the most hated characters of the story at that moment in time.
I agree. But obviously there's more to the story, and this part they have the locket, so they get sent out. I mean, I guess we'll start in the 7th movie, part 1 at this point, which is 7th part 1 and 7th part 2. I know we've mentioned 2 deaths so far, but 7th one and 7th one part 2 is a lot of deaths, a lot of sad moments. And in the beginning of 7th, it was when they tried to get Harry to safety by getting him to Ron's house, and then his poor owl Hedwig sacrifices herself to save Harry. That was so sad.
That was terrible, man.
Yeah. But they do get there. Harry does get there safe. The only one who dies shortly after that was Mad-Eye Moody.
But yeah, basically the last 2 movies is basically them finding the final Horcruxes, and obviously reaching the point, the climactic point of Harry versus Voldemort.
This is true. After this, when they destroy the locket, after the locket, they go and find this trophy, which they eventually destroy with a basilisk fang. God, what was the other one? The tiara.
Yeah, the tiara from Ravenclaw.
Which Harry destroyed as well with a basilisk fang? Yes?
I think so.
Yes. And then, there comes, I guess, after all this is the most important, plot twists, because this is when we is that a word, twists?
Twists.
When we find out the last 2 Horcruxes. Do you want to tell that part?
Harry himself is one of the Horcruxes, and so is, I can't remember the name. Is it Nagini? Nagini.
Yeah.
Yeah, the snake that's always with Voldemort is also one of the Horcruxes.
And this is like that plot twist we were talking about once he gets into Snape's memories, Snape was there for him since the beginning. Snape was with Dumbledore making everything happen because he loved Harry's mother so much. that
Mhm.
he took it upon himself to care for Harry, and
Yeah,
Dumbledore even told Snape to kill him, so Malfoy, Draco Malfoy, didn't have to.
right. That and that way Voldemort could trust Snape completely.
Yes,
Um,
that
so
too.
ba- so basically, in a sense, Snape became sort of this martyr character
Hmm.
who gave up everything um, for the love that he had for Lily.
Yeah, that's true. Very sad. At the end, he just tells Harry, "Can let me look at your eyes?" Because he was like,
Mhm.
"You have your mother's eyes." He wanted to die looking at It was very
Yeah.
sad. Really good character and really good plot twist.
Yep. Also, very important to mention that in these movies, we also get presented to three very particular items
Mm,
in the wizarding world, and that is the cloak of invisibility, or we finally know its significance because we see the cloak of invisibility since
since the
the first
first movie,
yeah.
and the stone.
And the stone exactly, and we get presented to the elder wand, which is
Yes.
basically like the most powerful wand in existence. The climax of the last movie, again, spoiler alert, as you all know, Harry ends up quote unquote dying, um,
Yeah.
as to defeat, so he's able to defeat Voldemort, and then he's brought back with the resurrection stone.
Which Dumbledore had planned out
Mm,
throughout the whole thing. Dumbledore is a freaking genius. Which they brought Harry back to present to Hogwarts that Harry failed. They all failed, but surprise, surprise, Harry's not dead. And one of the final Horcruxes that gets taken out is actually by a character named Neville Longbottom,
mhm.
which throughout the whole series you think he's such a wimp, but he really steps up.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Turns out to be a really awesome character.
He slices the snake's head off.
Um, so yeah, that is basically Harry Potter
In fast mode.
in as much of a nutshell as we could put it. Um, Obviously we have other movies like Fantastic Beasts, and we have some things coming soon, 2022, I believe, ish.
I think so. Also, there's a play out too called The Cursed Child, which
Hmm.
is the events of after Harry Potter finishes. And I know that we left out tremendous amounts of detail, but you have to understand that 8 movies condensed into one plot line. We just wanted to say the most important bits. But honestly, if you guys haven't seen it, which would be an incredible surprise, please go check them out. They are very, very, very good movies with a tremendous amount of detail and good character development.
Yep, they're on HBO Max, not a sponsor. So if you liked our video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It'll help our channel out a lot, and we would really appreciate it. Comment down below, which was your favorite Harry Potter movie?
Yes, I would probably put Goblet of Fire or Order of the Phoenix. That's me.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, it's either Goblet of Fire or The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the one I forgot. Um,
That's your favorite?
yeah, one of those two.
Nice. Okay.
All right, and as always, thank you for joining us in the ride. Hopefully, you'll join us next time, Heron. No
The
passenger.
passenger seat.